Welcome back to the FPL xGod podcast for your Game Weekly OD of XG. So, this is the first team selection video for 21-22 Premier League season, and I want to start by mentioning my league again. If you've seen my prediction video and on top of this one, you'll see everywhere I'm mentioning this league. So, this is my way of getting some publicity. I have over 250 members in the league already. It's a free-to-play league and you will win prizes if you do finish in the top. So please join this league as soon as possible. You need to join the league before game week 1 to be eligible for the prizes. So please do that. Moving on to the team selection. That's what everyone has been talking about for the last month since the game has been launched. So I showed a sneak peek of this in yesterday's prediction video. So you can see it's the same team. I haven't really changed much. I'm still confused. I have a few people who are locked in, as I mentioned yesterday. Those players aren't going anywhere. I just have to chop around the other people and find the best combo. So I'll be talking about each and every option you have and all the variety of ways you can approach this. There's no correct answer. You go with your gut. There'll be many people in the same price bracket. I might be thinking, oh, Harvey Barnes is a better person at 7.0, but you might want a Rafinha at 6.5 or someone else at 7.5 or even someone else at 7. So that all is fine. I'm just here to give you ideas and reasons on why I think this player is better than this or can be better than the other one. So let's move ahead to looking at some actual options. So I'll just be removing all the players that aren't locked in yet, and then we can go about how to move on. So for me, the keepers are pretty much locked in. As for the defenders, only Trent and Shaw are the locked in players. I will not be going ahead without those two. And for the midfield, it's mostly going to be their teammates, Salah and Bruno. So Salah is locked in. He's the first player in my squad. Bruno is almost as good as locked in. I just might go for Mason Greenwood to help me cover Bruno while I can approach other things. As for the strikers, Antonio is the only one who's a guarantee as of now. And yes, so that's our template. We have 46.5 mil for 8 positions, which includes 3 defenders and a few subs. So we have a lot of money to work around and we have our premiums already. So obviously let's address the Romelu Lukaku situation first. He has been listed at 11.5 and obviously everyone knows how lethal Lukaku is. He has more goals than Drogba in the Premier League. He's been to Inter. He's killed it over there. He had a slight dip in form when at United, but who hasn't? And I really back him to kill at Chelsea. Having said that, I don't want to bring Lukaku in straight away, especially because I doubt he'll be ready for the first game. Then you have Arsenal and Liverpool right after, which are tougher games. And even though they have a relatively decent fixture against Aston Villa after that, they play Tottenham and City. Everyone knows how Chelsea's fixture run is after game week 7, and that's when a lot of people are talking about using their first wildcard. Obviously everyone will have Lukaku for these fixtures, but if you want to go differential and have him earlier, I suggest having someone being prepared for removing Bruno and getting Lukaku in after 2 weeks, or having Vardy and 1 mil in the bank for this week if you want Lukaku in early and want to have him as a differential. You can also do Kane, but I truly don't think Kane is in the right place to play the first game week right now. We'll just cover the keepers first. What other options you can go for? For me, Sanchez and Foster are pretty much guarantees in my squad. I always like the combination of 2 4.5s or a 4.5 and a 4.0. I prefer if both of them are playing keepers. Sanchez has great fixtures. He might be an injury risk right now, so we'll have to track that on the final day. But if he isn't, like, he has amazing fixtures till game week 8, I'm very tempted to just keep him throughout. And mainly because of that, I'm thinking of having Ben Foster. So the YouTube legend has a good chance of playing a few games. Bachman might just be the number one keeper, but Foster is probably the best keeper at 4.0 who has a chance of playing. As for other 4.5 keepers, Queta had really bad last season, so did McCarthy. Darlow seems like he's fit, but as soon as Dubravka is back, Darlow goes out. So no one else really looks like you should be going for them, and that's why Sanchez is a guarantee. If you're one of those who likes having two nice keepers, then I'd suggest looking at Meslier because his fixtures go well with Sanchez. Like whenever Sanchez has a tough fixture, Meslier has a decent fixture, and vice versa. So these go well hand in hand, and you can definitely have that. Fabianski and Areola, you never know. It's a 50-50. Later on in the season, they'll be good picks, but not right now. And yeah, for me, keepers, these are the only ones I'd really consider. Obviously, you have your premiums of Allison, Edison, Emi Martinez, but I never really like spending that much on a keeper, especially when save points are so abundant for the smaller keepers. Moving on to defenders. So as you guys know, I am a member of Fantasy Football Hub, and one of the tools I use the most is the Fantasy Fixture Ticker. Here you can change your range to wherever. You can change your attack or defense, advanced or non. So advanced has predicted results as an extra thing. I personally prefer using the difficulty rating rather than predicted results or points. So for the defense, let's look at the first 4 game weeks and have number 5 and 6 in our head so we know what fixtures they have and what transfers we need to plan about. So Brighton, Sanchez, and Dunk and Weltman are the only options. Dunk, you pay the premium for the headed goals. Weltman is a safer one who creates more rather than a scoring chance. Aston Villa, I'm not that convinced this year personally. You can obviously go for any of their defense players, but I am personally not convinced. Spurs, I will be monitoring closely, especially Reguilon and Doherty because of Nuno. But for the first 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not going towards them, but I'll be closely monitoring them. As for West Ham, Ogbonna, Masuaku are injured. Fabianski, Areola, you do not know which one plays. And instead of paying the 0.5 mil premium for Cresswell, I would rather go for a Soufal, who has similar underlying numbers. Even though Cresswell was the third highest point getter last season among defenders, I'd go for Soufal because his underlyings are almost the same. They look more attacking from the right, and whenever they play 5 at the back, Cresswell plays as a left centre back. So I think Soufal is a safer bet there. United, Luke Shaw is the only one you should be looking at. You can go for a Harry Maguire because of the goal threat, but Luke Shaw is absolutely nailed. Everton, Digne is the only one you should look at. In absence of Gylfi, his attack rises so much, but under Rafa Benitez, I do not know how their defense is going to be. Obviously, everyone has Trent or Salah or both. The third Liverpool option, if you're going for it, can be Shimikas, Mane or Jota. So Jota is the best price basis midfielder. If he plays the minutes, if he gets the minutes, he is the best player you can go for. But for me, I'm going for Shimikas. It's obviously a 3 to 4 week punt when Robbo is not there. But at 4 million, I do not really care, and I'd rather go for someone else at the Jota price range. Chelsea and City are perennially the best defenses, but the issue for me with Chelsea at the start is their fixtures. I will definitely get some Chelsea players in later on. As for City, it's Pep Roulette as well as the first 4 fixtures. They only have one Norwich game that looks like an absolute riot. So for defense, I will be going for something that looks like this. Ben White can be anyone like an Ait Nouri or Semedo, who look very attacking when they play a 3-4-3 under Bruno Lage. And Dino I've spoken about, that can be a Sufal. Trent and Shaw guarantees. And Shimikas can be him, Amarte, or any of the 4 mil defenders. I'll talk about the forwards now. So forwards are my favorite position this year, and I'll tell you why. So if you look at the premium forwards, you have Kane, Lukaku, Vardy, Auba, Werner, Firmino, Laka. But I am not very fond of any of these guys. Obviously Lukaku, yes, but not the star of the season given the fixtures and he's just coming in. You can obviously have a Jamie Vardy and 1 mil in the bank to change to Lukaku next week. So you have that differential of a premium Lukaku. But for me personally, I absolutely like everyone who is sub 8 million. Like Danny Ings and Calvert-Lewin at 8 million are brilliant. Bamford gets better when the fixtures are better. Martial will be nailed on for the first 2-3 weeks, so he's a great punt. As for Richarlison, he's played the Olympics, he's played the Copa. I would not go near him right now. The two standout strikers for me at 7.5 million are Wilson and Antonio. Wilson, among all players in the Premier League, he has the highest goal involvement percentage for his team. So when Newcastle scores, there's a very high chance Callum Wilson is involved in the goal. As for Raul Jimenez, I really like him, I really rate him, but I'll see how he does the first 3 weeks and then jump on him when the fixtures go so well. Adam Armstrong is a good pick by Southampton. He was good in the championship with Blackpool from what I've read, and he's obviously in a better team now. G. Adams plays well when there's another main striker, so I was sad where Ings left, but Armstrong is a good pick. Obviously you can have a 6.5 Tony, but personally I would suggest going for the punt and going for a Mope at 6.5. I've been burned by Mope a lot last year, but his XG cannot be denied. Brighton are trusting him, Graham Potter is trusting him, they did not buy a striker. Welbeck is injured. It's Connolly or him. I think if you have the guts, take the risk and go for Mope. Yeah, let's move on to the mids. That's the most important area on the pitch. I haven't spoken about the 4 mil defender, 4.5 mil mid, or the 4.5 mil forwards because take your pick. Whoever has the highest minutes chance, it doesn't really matter much. I'm personally going for this Bruno Salah combo, but you can obviously have a Son instead or a Sancho instead. Havertz is a great 1 week punt. You can have him for the first week, and when Lukaku comes in and takes that striker position, you can change him to a Mahrez or any of the City players. I personally haven't taken any of the City players as of now because De Bruyne is injured, Foden's injured, Sterling played the Euros. The only player that looks appealing is Riyad Mahrez, who's had a brilliant preseason. His fixtures aren't the best, that's why I haven't leaned entirely towards him with the added risk of Pep Roulette. Grealish is also there, but Arsenal have a few really nice punts. Pepe, people are overlooking, but other than the Chelsea City, they're the two best defenses. But yeah, other than that, he has amazing fixtures and he is a very explosive player. And as for Saka, that poor guy has to carry Arsenal on his back this season again. And I think he'll get that 2-3 week rest extra because of the Euros, but once he's back, he will be playing almost every game. We've spoken about Jota, and in a similar way, there's also Mason Greenwood. Both of them have really good underlying stats. Mason will have the game time to back it up, guaranteed. Cavani is injured. Cavani hasn't played like since he's been to Uruguay, and Rashford just underwent a surgery. Sancho's coming to the Premier League just now, so it's prime time for Greenwood to turn up and show what he's made out of. Maddison and Barnes are great picks. Maddison has a chance of going to Arsenal, so I do not go towards him. Barnes is more direct, more attacking, so I'd rather go for Barnes over Maddison. Ismail Assar, Sargent, or a Rashika, or a Benrahma, these players are good explosive punts. Obviously, everyone will have someone from the 5 to 6.5 range, like a Mbuemo, or a Benrahma, or a Sarr, or a Jack Harrison. But everyone knows how much I love Rafinha. take the 0.5 million extra, get Rafinha in if you can. I do not have him here because I'm going fixture wise. Rafinha would be benched, but I will make the extra transfer and get Rafinha in when the fixtures go better. Other than that, yeah, you can have the Buendia, Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey is the X Factor type. Buendia is a creator type, so you should know which one you're going for. Emil Smith Rowe is a great pick at 5.5 if you need that price range. And other than that, I would just suggest not going for people just based on how many points they got last year, but how many points they can get this year. That's one thing you should always remember and not fall in the traps of people like Stuart Dallas, who's got position change, or Saint Maximin would have been so much better if he was still listed as a midfielder. Well, I'll obviously talk about my captain, but it has to be Salah. A Liverpool attacker against Norwich is a dream. Salah, Suarez both have proven it before, and I cannot look past that. Antonio is a very good punt for this week, and so is Bruno. Leeds are a good attacking team, but they're bad defensively, especially away from home. So I think this is a great fixture for the likes of Salah, Bruno, Antonio, Greenwood, Benrahma, everyone. So yeah, good luck for the week. Join the league, and please let me know what your team is. Let me know your questions down in the comments. I'll try to reply. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I'll message me over there, comment on my post. I will try to reply to as many questions as possible. I'll try to rate people's teams. Send me your drafts, anything you want. I'll try to do as much as I can for today. Good luck for the final day, and don't stress. And just one last tip: before you submit your final draft, just go back and look at the first draft you ever made. I read this somewhere, but the first decisions you make are sometimes the best ones. So just go back, look if you've overthought and you just need the basic player. So yeah, good luck and join the league.